Alright, good morning everybody. This is going to be a new show for me. I'm not really much into talking to the camera, but figure at this point, why not? Anyway, I am setting 10 minutes aside. I'm going to try to do 10 minutes a day if I can. Maybe I'll run out of material or not. Here's a little timer. We're going to set it off when it goes ding. Also for uploading, you can't really upload too much of the videos on YouTube or it takes too long. Normally I'd have music on, but you can't play music either because then it just gets copyrighted, so on and so forth. So, let me just go over the simple first thing: who, what, where, how, and why. Who I am Ronnoco. That is my name backwards. My name is Dan O'Connor. When my dad passed away some 20 years ago, I did an homage to something he taught me about being a salesman in the early 1950s, and that was back then, towns were separated. You know, you might have an Irish section, Italian section, a German section, so on and so forth. O'Connor being a very Irish name, he had a hard time making any sales in the Italian section, so he turned his name around to Ronnoco, was able to make a few sales here and there. Probably became more of a bar conversation, but anyway, as an homage to him, I use that name. I think it has a little bit more of an allure. I'm going to always be drinking a cup of tea on these because I just woke up. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is, I'm going to have a cup of tea while we're doing this. So excuse the slurping. So that's the who. That's me, Dan O'Connor, Ronnoco. The what? Art. I like to do art. I'm a pretty crafty dude. I like to try to make stuff out of nothing. I'm usually on a really tight budget. I'm not ashamed to say I do a lot of garbage picking on recycling nights. Pick up my plastic. I like to pick up my wheels for toys, this, that, and the other thing. You can make a lot of stuff for free. Or little money, you know, maybe you need a little hot glue here and some other fasteners and, you know, oddball stuff. But I see art everywhere. It can be a curse. You know, I see something on the ground and I'm like, oh, I can make something out of that. You have to pull back in the reins a little bit for me. I'm going to showcase one piece every day or every time we do a video just to kind of, you know, show you some of the stuff that I'm working on. Maybe give a little bit of detail, maybe give you a little bit of inspiration to try something yourself, or maybe even shoot back an even better idea or a better way of doing it. The biggest thing for me, the whole idea of this is for me to share. I found a lot of my experience on YouTube, and I'm thankful to YouTube for that, for being able to put videos out there for someone like myself. I never went to school for this. I enjoyed it when I was younger, didn't really know that I would be doing art many years later. But anyway, where? Okay, well, the who, what, where, how, and why. Okay, so where does it really matter? Well, I mean, this is my studio. I live in a 400 square foot apartment with my wife and my dog. It is small in here, it is cramped. It's very tight. I try to do as much as I can during the wee hours of the night into the early mornings. It is not a great space. I've got a lot of stuff crammed in here. You'd be amazed at the amount of stuff that I crank out of this place, though. That's, if I'm going to toot my own horn about anything, your surroundings shouldn't limit you other than, you know, your comfort. I mean, I have a tolerant wife who doesn't mind walking over all my stuff. Next thing, how? So, the how did this come about? Well, in early 2000, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, was in the hospital. I was on a huge amount of narcotics, many different ones, and I started to, oh boy, I don't know what the best word to use is here, but I started to, you know, get rather lucid visions while I was inside, and I started painting. I started dabbling with it, and you know, they were very muddy, they weren't detailed, but I was getting some ideas out. It's expression, that's what it was, art, expression. I wasn't enjoying where I was in there for 186 days. That's a pretty long stay in the hospital by any standards. I was watching people with open heart surgery leave, and I'd still be inside, but anyway. So that kind of fueled it and giving you this whole idea that life is short. You should be doing something you enjoy, not shuffle. If that's what your thing is, you know, I was working as a driver, doing warehouse work, doing grunt work. I was doing every labor position you can imagine, from humping blocks to doing tear outs, everything you can imagine, beating the body up. Some days it was fulfilling, most days it was a pain in the ass, and I didn't like it. Then the second part of that two-pronged story would be that one time I had gotten into an argument with somebody. I had jumped out of a truck. I got a concussion. I mean, literally, like one of these old stories you see on A&E or something. I bonked my head, and it was almost from that day forward that I really didn't put any energy into jobs. I just started seeing paintings, in a sense, not seeing like I don't wake up and I see a painting in my head. Just getting an idea and knowing that I had to take this idea, run with it, and go. It's a good idea. Do it, do it, do it. And that's about the level that I'm always getting in my paintings. I am this painting back here is the reason that this one is up here today is Dolly is a huge inspiration for me. I love Dolly. I love doing his artwork. I love doing his paintings. He's on my actual logo that I use. I mean, this is a painting that I painted, obviously. But I mean, I did it. This is like the third or fourth one I've actually done of Dolly like this. I enjoy it. So, sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. You know, I really actually did get really sidetracked there. I completely forgot about it. Oh, anyway. So, anyway, well, then I guess I'm just going to talk about this painting then, just real quick, because that's what I was going to do. So, lately I haven't been able to get canvas. Can't really, it's gone to the roof, the prices, and getting stretcher bars, the shipper where I usually get them from California. I'm in Jersey right now. So I was paying more for the shipping. Great company for somebody out in the Midwest or something like that, but I'm paying more for the shipping than I was for the product, and I just can't do that. And I'm not going to go down to, you know, I buy all my art at local art stores, I give to local businesses, but I cannot pay that price for their stretcher bars. It's too much money. It's just too much money. So I usually build my own. I call it the Wonky series. Those are all usually like 1x3s or whatever lumber that I find at Lowe's. I cut it in half on a handsaw. I mean, I use a square, but I'm not cutting these things laser cut straight. That's part of them. Some of them dip, they bow. That's why they're wonky, and they usually sell for, you know, under $300 because I don't have a lot into it, and I'm trying to give the art to someone who doesn't really mind that the frame is a bit wonky. So then I found these. These are little blanks. This is Luan. It's a 5.5 millimeter thick, 24 by 24. So they say it's not actually 24 by 24. It's like 23 3/4. I don't even know how they screwed that up. But anyway, I've been painting on these. I'm having some success. I'm not a big fan of the way that when you prime it, that the paint, you can't really see here, but you see the brush strokes, they stay on there. Could be brushes, could be the wood, whatever. I think it's lightweight. It's a great way. In my apartment, I can stack 20 of these, and it doesn't take up the same space as the 3/4 inch. So that's the focus on the art for what I did. Like I said, that's a 24 by 24. I did some taping. I guess I'm, you know, through this series that I'm going to do, it depends if you guys like it or not. I'm just going to give my own personal tips. Like I said, I learned a lot off of YouTube. I also did learn a lot of experience that I learned in the trades that I'm also bringing into my artwork. So, you know, maybe I can also help you guys out with something. But, like I said, I'm always looking to you guys for help too. So, anyway, so that's one of the pieces that I have. This here, you know, basically, I'm going to be pushing my website on Friday the 20th, I believe it is, of November. That will be reopened. I'm going to be putting pricing and stuff up there. I have like basically like some of these are always going to be like a blue collar series for me, which is like, you know, anything under like $300 I think is real fair today for anything that you put in, you know, 15, 20 hours of your time into. I think it's real fair for somebody to get into something that's hand painted and handcrafted, you know. Okay, so then the big answer is why, right? The last question is why. Why art? Why get into it? It's not really something that you're going to make a fortune at while you're alive, supposedly. I'm hoping to turn that around. I'm actually hoping to, you know, change that, how would you say, that model. You know, I think it's okay. I think we could if people respect the amount of time they put into this as they do into their car mechanic, you have no problem paying a car mechanic $45 an hour to work on your car. 9 out of 10 times, if you're not in a good relationship with that mechanic, you're getting screwed over. And to take a piece of art that all your family comes over and sees on Thanksgiving and has a story, and they remember going to Aunt Lola's with that big painting of this, that, and the other thing. Those are stories. You know, can you put a price on that? Your little niece coming up to you, your little daughter, your little aunt coming up to you saying, "Oh, I remember coming to your house." I don't think so. So, you know, charging $300-400 for a painting for an original, I don't think that's a lot at all. I think you can't do that well out there. Copies cost more than that, and it's not original. It's not to you. It's a copy. It's a piece of paper. It's a me too. It's like, you know, oh, there goes the bell. I think that's all the time we have for today. come check us out tomorrow if you like it. I'm gonna obviously hopefully get better at this, and you know, I'll check out the comments. I'm sure I'm gonna get hassled, but otherwise, have a great day out there. Be good, guys.